I'd like to see it.
I don't think you can.
Here's the challenge.
Yeah.
This is, can you jump over like Doug, basically? So we're trying to see same height as, I'm sorry.
Sure. Hey, it's fine.
No, box jumps.
This is about Doug,
stout.
This is about the size of Doug right here. So let's see if you can jump. You're a jerk.
Leapfrog.
That's messed up.
That's
Jump
right.
box. Hey, can we, before you start and you talk about these things,
Okay.
can you tell everybody how often we see people do these the wrong way? Most people I see that
Every
do
time.
box jumps, they do them, no, not so
They're
much the
eating
form,
shins.
but they do them for cardio.
Right.
That's-
That's why.
Yes, they're doing
why
them.
they're
They're
eating
doing them
shins.
to fatigue. They're just repetitions. They're doing 30 box jumps, which totally defeats the purpose of
mean,
what
look-
the intention of this
look at
movement is.
rule
Let's be honest, that's exhaustive, right? Like, it is exhausting to do multiple reps like that in a row, but there's purpose behind being explosive and doing things with intention.
Right, rule number 1, box jumps are not to be used to exhaustion. They're not to be used for cardio. They are used for power and explosiveness. So each rep needs to be with power and explosiveness, and when you get fatigued, that goes away, and now it becomes cardio. So you don't do a ton of these, you do them when you can explode. Once you start to feel a little fatigue, you take a break and repeat. What do they look like?
So I'm gonna approach this just by staying a bit loose. What you have to kind of disassociate with box jumps is squatting and then jumping. So if I'm in a game, I have to react very quickly. So I have to be a little bit more up on the balls of my feet. Now, as I'm up on the balls of my feet, I want to react by just hinging my hips and then exploding out as quickly as I can and get that kind of response. So as I'm focusing on what I'm about to do, I have to center myself and recruit already to get tension established. And now I'm gonna, actually a lot of times I like to use my arms to reinforce the fact that I'm thrusting my hips forward in this movement. So as I go to hinge here, so I'm gonna come up, get all the way up to the top, get full extension,
Reset,
reset,
wait, and then do it again. Because it needs to be explosive every time.
focus.
So that's really what we're training is this part right here.
That
It's not
first
about
move.
how high you're getting and how many times
Literally,
you're doing.
the rest of it means nothing.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm getting low and coming up, that means nothing. If you want to think of it like this, if I'm doing a vertical jump test, all they care about is how many of these specific little sticks you can hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and that all comes just from the explosive movement in the very initial beginning of that movement.
And these are good movements to do if you want to do a superset. Do like 2 or 3 of these, explode real hard, go right to a squat. Post-activation potentiation.
And that really what you're doing is you're firing up that central nervous system before you go over, and you're getting that amped up before you go over and you do a squat.
Studies will show doing something like this before a traditional barbell movement will activate more muscle fibers. And what does that mean in the long run? It means you build more muscle.
Well, think about it. It just makes logical sense. You are having to recruit so many muscles to explode like that. So you're waking it all up, and then you go over to a big compound movement like a squat. It's all awake now. It's all awake. It's ready to fire. You just put a ton of demand on it by exploding off the ground, but not fatiguing.
No, you're literally doing 2 of these, explode, come down, reset, explode, come down, reset, walk over to the squat, do your squats.
And there's another cue I wanted to mention. I'm really focusing on pushing and driving my feet into the ground really hard. Okay. So it's the ground forces that are gonna have that ability to then react, recoil, spring out of that. So it's the forces that you put in that then you get out of it.
Now, where would we place this in our MAPS program? In our MAPS screen, where would we put this in?
Oh, this is in the power phase.
This is in the power phase. This is, phase 3.
Yep, this
phase
is the
3,
power phase.
Speed, power. So a lot of these exercises in that phase, we don't go heavy because our whole focus is accelerating. It's moving very quickly and very powerfully.
Power is what is it? Weight and speed. It's not just weight.
Yeah.
There's a speed element there. So going super heavy slows down the speed. It actually reduces the amount of power output.
Vertical jump is an expression of that. It's speed.
Exactly.
That's how you have to think of it, speed.